Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome back to the Outer Worlds, where... Huh? Oh, hello. Yeah.
They're on us.
We are still on Monarch. I decided to give Parvati the group gun just to see how that goes. I don't know exactly how that will go, considering it is a very specific weapon type.
Up, right?
But, hey, might as well try it out. So anyway, we are still on Monarch, although the end is relatively in sight. All I have to do now is I have to talk to Graham, get him to get off the air. And once that happens, then I can go back to the radio, have them get information in regards to the chemicals needed to revitalize the people in the Hope, and then I could, in theory, leave this planet. There's still a couple side quests, specifically this one, which is tasking me with collecting gas. Let's see, you have been on shift for 88,536 hours. You have earned a 5-minute break. Why not enjoy a knock you out bar? We have 0 of everything in stock. Password is required. The password is antediluvian. Welcome to Rizzo's Sweet Shop. We've got your candy handy. How can I sweeten your day? Yes, no, cancel transaction. Let's say yes. Oh, hold on. Rizzo's candy has been scientifically proven, based on the average lifespan of colonists, to not give you cavities. 5 out of 5 Rizzo company doctors agree. Oof. Have you offered the customer a slap? Sales of Lemon Slap are down. Remind our customers how refreshing a good slap is. Try saying, "Thirsty friend, nothing beats a zesty slap." Transaction canceled, because we have no inventory. Ah, the Rizzo Secret Laboratory. Where Rizzo is up to terrible soda-related experiments and candy-related experiments to make the ultimate soda beverage. Most likely. I mean, if Auntie Cleo's like harvesting chemicals from incredibly violent creatures to make a diet toothpaste that blinds you, then I would not be surprised if Rizzo was making some sort of super-powered soda pop that is also awful for some other reason.
Hello? Anybody here?
Place seems kind of abandoned, much like the rest of Cascadia. Damn it. My hacking is just short. Is there anything that'll, for some reason, make your hacking better? Mind attributes? Is that a mind attribute? Yes, it is. So if I grab myself... I haven't actually done this, strangely enough. The idea of using consumables to strengthen your abilities. But let us try it out. just barely crossed that threshold.
You gotta teach me that.
Let's see. From Redacted to Chartrandi, you will not see me, but I will be close. Continue your research, Doctor. Report to me when you have achieved a mission end state. I understand we're bound for a secondary lab. Will you be supervising our research this time, or will it be the standard work from the shadows routine? Thank you for your optimism, Lore. What we're doing isn't easy under the best of circumstances, much less with the board cutting corners. I can promise you that our research will lead to a better Halcyon, even if we have to pay a terrible cost getting there. You have your orders, Doctor. Your project is too important, too sensitive to allow any hint of it to reach the public. With all respect, I urge you to reconsider your decision to classify our research results on the native fauna of Terra 1. I assure you that we will digitally redact any references to our project or its purpose from any papers we release. We have made several discoveries about how the terraforming process affected the nucleon of the Raptidon and Manti families. At the very least, allow us to inform our fellow board researchers that these creatures will perish when O2 concentrations are reduced to 19.5%, a level within human tolerance. This is not about fame or prestige. This is about potentially saving lives. Please. Huh. So, was the scientist here actually trying to make the world a better place? I'd barely even believe that's possible. Signal Ada to land on the Cascadia pad. Fuel controls. The closest functional terminal with refueling authorization is located above the Flavor R&D lab.
Captain, I've touched down on Cascadia's landing pad. You'll need to connect the storage tanks to my fueling system, and then initiate the transfer from an authorized terminal within the lab.
Alright. But we're also going to loot the living hell out of this place. Ah, hello. Are you hostile?
Proximity alert. Biology human. Protocol kill all plants. Suspended. Present your Rizzo identification credentials or prepare to be downsized.
I left my ID in the wash.
Washing company property without authorization is a fireable offense. Priming weapons.
I'm an authorized Rizzo employee. Password antediluvian.
Executive level password accepted as identification according to Employee ID Protocol A-3501. Welcome back, Doctor. Be advised. Mantisaur threat level is petrifying purpleberry. Please use caution. Mantisaur wounds are not covered under Rizzo's health policy. Have a productive day.
I appreciate that the threat levels are also flavor-based. I feel that's very consistent with the world itself. Can I steal you? Yes, I can. The robots don't care. And some purpleberry crunch, some adreno. Supposedly there are mantisaurs here, but I suppose I've only just started exploring. If there are mantisaurs here, I'm gonna have to switch to the energy weapon because that is the better choice. Yep, I see him. Just hanging out, doing their mantisaur thing. Yeah, and there's a mine right there.
Watch those traps. My field stitches aren't exactly pretty.
No worries. Ever since I walked directly into... I probably walked directly into like a dozen traps in this game. Is there a way to shut these guys off? Or will, 72 out of 100. Alas, I can't just, use consumables to raise my stats up high enough. And it's barred from that side. There we go. Oh, and I believe there are some Manta Pillars attacking from above. Yeah, okay, so it's nifty that she's using the gloop gun, but she does seem to be missing a lot. So I think I'm going to remove that from Parvati's hands. Yeah. Which gas did I need?
You're fast.
Oh, yeah. Was it the purple gas or the yellow gas? I need the Alti Vitae. Alti something something gas. Align the fueling systems. Initiate the transfer of the Alti Vitae gas. The terminal does not have administrative permissions. Access required is restricted to the Executive Research Focus Group terminal in the R&D labs. Tom was skeptical that animal trials would yield good data, but I wanted to start small. I wish someone had thought to pack a breeding stock of fruit flies from Earth. Writing them off as mere pest species has limited our research efforts more than once. With approval from CNP, I've made arrangements to use the Borst factory near Fallbrook. Cystipigs mature reasonably swiftly. I feel this is the best option available to us. I've done great things with cystipig engineering in the past. Of course, my current project is far more difficult than merely enhancing the baconated flavoring of cystipig tumors. Let's see if I can make lightning strike twice, this time on alternate tissues. That all sounds horrible. The board has repeatedly denied my requests for data from the other teams investigating the issue. I'm guessing their efforts have progressed no further than ours. There is some good news. We'll be heading to a town called Cascadia. Apparently Rizzo volunteered to provide lab space. We could use a change of scene. I'll ask the movers to handle the terminal with care. I'm starting to have doubts that animal testing will yield us the results we seek, but succumbing to pessimism helps no one. All right. All right, and there are a whole bunch of Manta Pillars. You are not going to get very far. Nope. Get back here. See you. Actually, Parvati, you chase that Manta Pillar down.
It's nothing personal, I swear.
That's okay. You can... that's true. It's not really personal with these Mantisaurs and Manta Pillars. It's merely business. Oh, is there a survivor? Oh no, there's just another room with more mantisaurs. And Manta Pillars. This is just a testing facility? It looks quite horrible. Like they did terrible things in this facility. In the name of flavor. What is... You didn't have to go this far to get out of paying that bad bet on the Darlings. I mean, you gave me 6 years to pay you back for the last year's championships. I told you were right. Yeah, I had your back. We could have drawn straws or something, but you went off and did it and you didn't even tell me. This shouldn't have happened, man. Fuck this. You earned better.
What an awful brave thing to do. And look how loved he was for it.
But what did he do? I'd like to think you'd be happy about the data I recovered. These days, I'm mostly thinking about how you'd still be with us and we should have had more support from the board, and no one should have ever needed to take such a crazy, stupid, brave risk. I don't know if your folks will ever get to see you, but I made sure you were all tidy. Small stitches. Eva put you in your best suit. Did it herself alone, said she owed you. See you in the equation, Tom. We miss you.
This is why you don't go getting attached.
You are an excellent chimerist and a credit to our team. Upon our return to Byzantium, I will file to have the copyrights for our work made in your name. The companies will own them, but your name will be on every legal filing. People will see it and perhaps think of you. I hope this adequately communicates the depth of my esteem. I will forever appreciate your efforts to improve communication between myself and the rest of the team. I do not believe I will drink vodka again, however. Team Tom, as your manager, I suppose to review your achievements in history, holding up examples of important milestones that emphasize your ability to work with and sacrifice for the company. Even when we die, it's all, how much did you make for us? Everyone here knows what we're up against and how long we have. You know better than anyone. The way you talked about the lives we forget in passing. The dock worker who kept a red kerchief in one of her pockets, and you wondered why. The server at the bar trying to read a book on the sly until our order was up, and you wondered what it was. The worker who swept the roads, but when she found a dead sprat, stopped to bury it. I didn't notice half the lives around me until you'd point out the little things that made each one unlike any other you'd met. I have to live long enough that I can shout your name at Byzantium, tell everyone what you did for them because I could write for 40 days and nights, and not tell a tenth of the little things I saw in you. Dr. Thomas Linwood Real, in gratitude. But what did he do? Are they just preserving his body in Rizzo liquids? Is Rizzo fluids a viable storage for dead bodies? And if so, should people be drinking this?
How'd you do that so fast?
Superpowers. Chief concern is rejection of the tissue, a problem as classical as limb transplantation, though obviously on a cellular level. The scale of the problem, though, even with the Ultima Vitae, bolstering our efforts, an achievement of such proportion has never been attempted or even considered. How do we define a tolerable failure rate when the losses could swell to affect millions? Even 1% is unthinkable. I have much to consider. The project has been reassigned to a secondary lab. I'm told the board is pulling out of Terra 1 and we don't have enough time to transfer our research. For once, I'm grateful our labors didn't make significant strides here. I won't forget Tom's sacrifice. Up until the end, he knew it had to happen. If it wasn't one of us, the board would have volunteered inmates from Tartarus. I'll be sure to carry his example to the new lab and the next phase of human trials. Again, what did Tom actually do? What do they mean by human trials?
Oh, clever.
Ah, hello. Let's knock you down. Ah.
Another fighting me.
Anything to collect in here, or is this just a strange room that I'm just expected to pass by? Oh, and then there's the exit, which makes me presume I am more or less done with this area.
Let me take a look-see. Okay, I'm thinking if I patch this into our fuel cell network, we can use the empty tanks to hold this ulta-wada-biddle stuff. Just gotta compensate for the pressure difference. We burn liquid reaction mass, not gas, and the cells are distributed all through the hull, so I gotta isolate the empties.
That looks right. You remembered the sticky valve on number 16?
Of course I did, Captain. Just gave it a little jiggle.
All right.
There we are. Good as pretty and twice as new.
All thanks to my moral support. Nice work.
Oh, I just did my thing. You know.
Hey, take the compliment. You did the work.
All right. That's the jump button. Let us save our game and see what on earth is across from this ledge. Or is this just is this leading to an alternate way in? No, this is leading to this guy. And a mind control ray. A misfiled form put a research group specializing in marketing jingles into an advanced top secret weapon research facility. Okay. The research group spent months incorporating their new marketing jingles into the advanced weaponry development and developed the mind control ray. Once the mishap was discovered, the entire facility was shut down and all personnel were resigned to the most remote outposts corporate could find. Huh. I guess I'm gonna have to try that out. Let's get rid of the Assault Rifle Ultra and attach the Mind Control Ray. And then very, very safely climb down these ladders. There we go. Did she fall to her death? I think they're falling to their death. Huh. All right. Standard troop helmet gold. Okay, it's not actually that great. Oh, there's a jail cell here for some reason. Where they were just storing a resident. Great. And he just died in the cell. Alright. So I'm done there. Or at the very least, I need to talk to Lilia and the Groundbreaker. I also need to go back to Edgewater. This is for later on. That is for later on. Alright, let's start moving around. Alright.
I believe I hear Felix and Parvati discussing the latest Aetherwave serial.
Are they? Alright. Let us see if we can find them, and hopefully they're talking about making a little bit more meaningful discussion, because last time they didn't really get into very many details, and I was very disappointed.
Serial the other night, yeah? You know that slick-looking spacer from All My Colonists? They got her playing the Queen of the Marauders.
Oh gosh, I wish you'd waited for me. I wanted to see that too.
Just stretching your legs, boss?
Yep. I suppose that's what I'm doing. Alright, let's see if Hawthorne has anything about science weapons. Messages for Malice. I have messages? This is just to let you know that I've given out the rest of that you-know-what to the you-know-whos. Sorry for the secrecy. You never really know who's reading these things. I appreciate you giving me the time of day. You risked your neck heading to the community center. I'm grateful, but I'd also appreciate if you never told another soul about our business. I like my job, and I should like to keep it. So that would be the person I gave the medicine to, as opposed to the initial guy that asked me for it. Parvati, I don't do this ever, so here goes. There's this engine, see, and it hums real nice. Like a box of cats playing with mice. but she's coughing and hacking up sludge, 'cause there's a blockage that just won't budge. What's an engine to do? Then this wrencher strides in like a shark, hair all done up and fancy and dark. She feels a spasm in her compression alternator, trembling 'cause it's aching to meet her. What's an engine to do? I've got, 5 more stanzas mapped out, but I'm having trouble rhyming some of the parts, so I'll get back to you on that. Here is my half-finished poem about this mysterious woman who really gets at the finer points of this engine. We were talking about old friends, you know, and I got to thinking about Isabel. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what she was thinking. We were a mess. A good mess, but a mess. I'm a better me than I was then, wanted you to know. Even when I drink too much of the old family recipe, you're pretty swell party tea. Damn you, insta spell check. Meet my wrench. Too tired, just gonna put my head down for... Okay, I did not know I also got the, Let's see. Shrink ray. Note to self, remember this later. No, better. Ada, remind me weekly to check this log until I tell you to stop. Yes, I mean continually. No, Ada, not if I'm dead. Why would you even ask me that? Back to the point, I saw in actuality, with my own 2 eyes, a sublimely powerful weapon in Wells' lab, just sitting there for the taking if the gray hair were to look away or forget about it maybe, or if I had asked a smidgen more nicely. He called it a shrink ray, but wouldn't let me test that claim after I lost my temper. Said he was inspired to create the thing by the achievements of other scientists who dared to push the boundaries of human knowledge and decency laws. I had heard rumors of fantastical weapons like this one, weapons that pushed the boundaries of the mind and science's cutting edge, but I figured they were just stories, to be honest. Laying eyes on Wells' shrink ray firsthand is enough to make a fellow wonder if there's more to the rumors, more to be had. The last time I got sloshed, was imbibing at the last hope on the Groundbreaker. Look, Udom was really free with the drinks. He seems like an okay fellow. I shamelessly but subtly eavesdrop on 2 Mardettes yammering about a mad scientist some years back who'd claimed he'd made a huge discovery that would change the fate of the colony. Like, none of us have heard that one before, but here is the good part. The Mardettes said the mad scientist kept yelling about the hammer's power, or something similar. A strange weapon with a special power created by a crazy lab coat sure fits the bill. It could be another one of the weapons that inspired Wells. Why? Why won't Wells just give the shrink ray to me? Blast him to the depths of the labyrinth on Tartarus and back. Let the record show I did apologize for shouting him down 5 times. But architect be damned, it's just sitting there, neglected and gathering dust. I should have commandeered it and thanked him without asking permission, or breaking expensive equipment when he said it wasn't ready yet, and that even if it were, he couldn't entrust it to someone like me. What does that even mean, I ask? That I'm not trustworthy enough? That I'd use it to wipe out the good, hard-working folks of the colony like some sort of moralist psycho? I'll admit to maintaining some questionable associations, but I follow a strict code of me, myself, and mine. What's not to respect in that? Exactly. Now I have to wait until Wells forgets or thinks he's misplaced it. In the meanwhile, I've been tracking down additional rumors pertaining to the others of these science weapons throughout Halcyon. If gossip holds true, my next step will be to check with the black market merchants on the Groundbreaker and in Fallbrook. Huh.
Our fuel cells are now
Oh.
primed with Alta Vitae gas. As the organics say, let us hope we do not explode in transit to the Groundbreaker.
I'm sure there are people who say that. Alright, let's turn in our Sublight quest.
That gas is going to make us a fucking mint.
120-some cubic meters of it, at 1,000,000 bits a pop.
I'm
Take
not
this.
entirely
You
sure
got it.
how you're measuring this.
When we get buyers lined up, I'm gonna buy a gold toilet to shit in.
Truly the height of ambition for us all.
You're goddamn right. Monarch isn't exactly a walk down the lanes of Byzantium. But here you are with all your limbs attached. Call me impressed, contractor.
Do you always send your first-timers into certain peril?
I guess you're just one of the lucky ones. Look on the bright side. You just started and you're already on the path to a promotion. You've been keeping busy. I hear you took on some extra work at Fallbrook.
I did.
Catherine doesn't always play nice with others. But it sounds like she and Clive reached some kind of understanding. Hey, when you were at the slaughterhouse, those swine didn't give you any strange looks, did they?
Depends on what you mean by strange.
Like they were hanging on to your every word, scheming. And when you turned around, maybe they just oinked like innocent little idiots.
No. Why?
I'm probably getting worked up over nothing. Just try not to think about pigs. You never know, you know?
You doing okay, Lilia?
I've got a lot on my mind, but it's nothing that concerns you. At least, not yet. I have another job lined up, assuming you're still interested in work.
I suppose
You're
I'm
gonna
interested
salvage
in
me a
work.
Space station.
Oh, hold on.
Heliospheric Research Station 1084, to be exact. I want it. Cobwebs and all. Interested?
How big we talking? Not like groundbreaker big, right?
This opportunity won't come around again, Captain.
How did a research station become salvage?
Right now, it's only salvage on paper. Systems and comms have gone dark. Poke around if you're curious why.
Oh,
While the board lets 1084 gather dust, you're gonna swoop in and plant Sublight's flag. Perfectly legit, perfectly legal.
do you have a... That sounds risky. Do you have a buyer lined up?
Not this time. The board tolerates our business up to a point, and selling off a station full of their old gear and terminals crosses that point. But if we were to move in and commandeer the station as a Sublight salvage remote office, that's a different matter. Legally gray by comparison. More of a squatter situation.
All right, just point me in the right direction.
Here, this override bypass should get you into the station's systems where you can plant my flag. And one last thing. When you get there, make sure you aren't followed. We wouldn't want that.
Who are we worried about? Authorities? Or no? Wink? Nod.
Glad we understand each other. I'm on the heels of something big. Play your cards right and I'll clue you in, but right now, I'm not sure who I can trust. Just be careful. Someone might try and use you to get to me.
All right, so now I have more stuff to do, because that's what I needed. At the very least, it's not on Monarch. Also, while I'm here, I kind of wonder if there's any specific dialogue that June Lei has now that her and Parvati have been sort of dating.
Dr. Fenhill, I hope you've reconsidered my offer to stay on full-time. My crew are never short on dents and bruises.
I'm trying to live a more balanced life. Gun in one hand, scalpel in the other.
I already knew it'd be easier to teach an automech heart surgery than to change your mind. Fair travels, Ellie.
You two know each other?
Groundbreaker's a small town in a big ship, and anyone who spends any time here gets to know June Lei.
We don't see a lot of competent surgeons on Groundbreaker. Dr. Fenhill is my on-again, off-again freelancer. I take it she'll be joining your crew full-time?
I guess
I
for
don't
the
like to
time
put a
being.
label on things. Let's keep it casual.
If you ever decide to settle down, there's a home for you on Groundbreaker.
Alright, we'll be on our way. Nothing new to say in regards to Parvati, though I do have one thing I've been kind of letting slide for a while to take care of. And I think I'm ready to do it. Okay. So...
What was that?
let's... One shot good enough? One shot is good enough for you.
Everybody okay?
What's going on over there?
Great.
What was that? Something going on over there? What was that?
Alright. I feel like I have definitely become overpowered for this particular zone. And I am okay with that.
Get branded when they join Mcgregor's crew?
Nope.
We got another.
They got the job. Run! Look it up.
Excellent. Oh, this is stealing though. The murder is okay. The stealing is wrong. Also, where is McReady's body? Is he There he is. Captain McRed. And I think there are still like a couple more people up top here.
Fuck your birthday.
Okay, here we go.
Like, you don't have to celebrate my birthday if you don't want to. All right. And there are apparently more in that direction, but I can't necessarily see how to get there.
What do you say we get out of here before we join whoever that was on the grill?
We'll be fine.
Think it hurts?
Watch out!
Don't shoot! I'm with Junlei.
Oh, hello.
Haven't seen any new faces down here since I arrived. Not sure how long ago that was. McGregor tends to incinerate anyone who comes by.
McRed's dead.
It's too bad. I mean, he was a scary fucker, total pyromaniac, but you know how it is. You meet a guy, get used to his quirks, and then blam.
You're better off up in engineering than down here with the outlaws.
I'll get back to my post. See you topside, stranger.
All right. Well, that taken care of. Let's get off this station. At long last, I can check off this box. Oh yeah, and I actually need to be on Groundbreaker for another quest. Because there's apparently a scientist here who is researching a hammer. And of course everything leads through Gladys.
Gracious. I was just sitting down for tea.
I wanted to ask you about something else that
What do
was
you
not
want,
tea.
then? My hard-earned wisdom?
I guess not of anything of that?
Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me. If you're here for this week's...
Actually,
Well,
apparently
try to
she
copper
has
kettle off
some...
that girl who runs the pub. She's a fierce arm wrestler, but she's no match for your pal Gladys.
You might have something for sale. Archive cartridge. The data cartridge contains the public records of Hephaestus mining outpost on Scylla. Huh. What do you do with it? And this old datapad used from the Cumulus of Dust will often purchase old datapads and find clues to forgotten cache of goods. Huh. Responded to a code at the Last Hope. Vera asked us to bounce him back Bay rat that got himself soaked in Spectrum Red. Drunken Fool got into a scuffle with one of engineer Tennyson's people. We tossed the rung leech back down to the bays. Asshole fought us the entire way, telling us we'd be sorry once he controlled the hammer's power. If this is some new Hammersmith marketing stunt, I'm complaining to Sanita. Had another run-in with the rung leech from the Last Hope. Don't know how the uppity piker crawled out of the back bays without us noticing. Locked himself into the repair bay off of docking slip 13 and refused to come out. Kept raving about the weapon's chaotic beauty or some shit while we were trying to talk him out. Had to break off when our shift ended. Hullhead's gotta come out eventually. Apparently there... Oh yeah, I believe this leads to a restricted area. I don't remember why it's restricted. Are there outlaws there? And also, how do I get there? It looks like there should be a connecting tissue there.
I'd say anything here falls under the salvage protocols of finders keepers.
Outlaws, scrap mechanicals. Shall we deal with them? Excellent. Also, thank you, Ellie, for specifically stating that we have carte blanche for dealing with whatever's in this room. The Prismatic Hammer. Hammersmith was working on a hammer weapon, the Pulse Hammer, when its rival company, Aramed Ballistics, stole the plans, rushed its development, and beat them to the market, all the while ridiculing Hammersmith with a marketing campaign about them having no hammers in their weapon line. Hammersmith executives demanded the ultimate hammer to be produced, but this prototype was so expensive that it never entered production.
Gosh, ain't that handsome.
Alright. Well, since you like it, you already have a way better weapon. Unless I upgrade it. In which case, then you can have it. While rummaging through the back bays, I discovered a very old hammersmith crate that seemed to be sealed for a very long time. A bit of elbow grease and determination pried it open, but I couldn't make heads or tails of my discovery, a prototype hammer. I didn't know Hammersmith actually made hammers, but I've brought it to my lab for a closer look. How strangely it glows. The trail of its wake lingers even when my eyes are closed. I've spent more time on the hammer. Its internal workings are state-of-the-art, thermal, electrical, and chemical systems all working in harmony. How is this even possible? The weapon is a breakthrough in circuitry and engineering, and many of its systems appear rigged against tampering. There's a curious energy signature swirling about the weapon, though I have yet to identify the source. The air tastes of copper, and I have lost several teeth. I have had the most sublime prismatic dream since I invited the hammer into my bedchamber. Never mind that for now. Good news first. The energy signature matches Blondiote's elusive N-rays, raising the hammer's elemental properties to 4: shock, plasma, corrosion, and radiation. Now for the bad. In my attempts to neuter the self-destruct functionality, I inadvertently caused a small fire. The hammer's manual controls may never function again. Swinging it seems to be the only way of cycling through its elemental modes. I must take greater care with future experiments. I've taken the liberty of locking myself in the workshop. My tinkerings were all for naught. This is no prototype. I'm simply too flawed to recognize its perfections. The hammer is a lesson, a symbol. It whispers to me that disorder rules all things. But with a little ambition, we can harness that power. Only by inflicting chaos upon others can we transmute disorder into harmony. And that is a lesson Halcyon is not ready to hear. Okay. Well, I think that's going to be it for the night. Got any suggestions for someone to play next? Leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourselves a good night.